Hello everyone and welcome back to the Property Podcast Today show. As you know, I'm your host Lee Dahill and I've got Tom with me, Sales and Marketing Director for Kramer Signs. We're going to be talking about the recent acquisition, the rebrand and what that means for the industry. So before we do anything useful, as usual, I'd like Tom to give us an introduction as to who he is, what he's been up to and a little bit about him before we dive into the questions. So Tom, I'm going to pass over to you and here's for your intro.
Thank you very much, Lee. As you said, my name's Tom Cummuskey. I'm the Sales and Marketing Director here at Kramer Signs. I've been working here now for 17 years, so long in the tooth. As you say, it's exciting times at Kramer Signs. Whilst we've been renowned for traditional signage, from the for sale and to let boards through to office fascia signage, throughout our 45-year existence within the being a property sector supplier, we've now dived into the digital signage world through an acquisition, which I'm really excited to obviously talk about today, which we've pushed to market and rebranded as Kramer Digital.
Tom, let's dive in. So let's talk about that. Tell me about the latest acquisition.
Yeah, so the acquisition was for a company called Digital Office Systems. So this was in September of last year, and the acquisition, it was a strategic move to sort of strengthen our position within the digital property market sector. So as I said earlier, we've traditionally always dealt with signage from office fascia signage, internal wall logos, for sale and to let boards, hoarding, commercial signage. And whilst we did supply LED light pockets, the digital signage, so the screens, it is something which always sort of eluded us. So whilst we've got a great audience and we deal with about 70% of UK estate agents, we thought with our customer base, we would love to be able to push a digital solution. And that's exactly what we've managed to achieve through this acquisition of Digital Office Systems. So it's allowed us to bring together sort of industry expertise through Digital Office Systems, innovative technology, which is their hardware and the software solution that we can offer, through an established customer base, which is our own. And the goal we sort of set out was quite simple. I mean, it was to create a market-leading digital display solution specifically tailored for estate agents and the wider property sector. It's accelerated our sort of growth and expanded on our capabilities, as I said earlier, offering a one-stop shop solution. So with our customers now, anything from the traditional signs to digital signage and the software that goes into that I'll talk about later, which is the integration with their CRM providers, which is the really exciting bit, has allowed us to offer a much more sort of complete end-to-end solution for estate agents. And most importantly, it gives our customers the confidence that they're working with a sort of long-established, financially secure business with nationwide support.
And since you've sort of taken on the acquired, digital office systems, what sort of numbers and things have you seen internally?
Yeah, so with in terms of so as I said earlier, the acquisition was in September of last year.
Yep.
So we're talking 8 months through to now, and when compared against the same 8 months prior to when we took over, we've seen a 55% uptake in revenue sales, and I think that's sort of credit to our customer base, where we've been able to really offer another dimension in terms of the marketing of the product, but then plug into our existing customer base and really push this product to market, which is a fantastic product. So yeah, really excited to see what comes off the back of it. As you know, when you take on an acquisition, it's quite hard to get things going initially, because there's so many things that you've got to learn yourself and come up with strategies to push to market. Obviously, we're at a confident position now that we're able to offer, as I said, a well-rounded solution. So it's going to be exciting to see what the next 8 months brings, now that we're in that position, which sort of ties into why we've now rebranded to Kramer Digital.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So why did you choose to rebrand? When does the rebrand start? Is the name going to change? Tell us about it.
So, in terms of Kramer Signs, obviously we remain as Kramer Signs. So, what we wanted to do was with digital office systems, whilst they were sort of leaders within their field of LED displays and LCD screens, we wanted to bring it all under one roof, so there's no confusion that we're working as separate entities. So Kramer Signs is still the brand name, but a division within that will be Kramer Digital. So we wanted a brand which clearly sort of reflects where the business is heading and what we specialise in. So as well as signs, there is a digital solution. Kramer already has a strong sort of reputation within the property industry, so aligning the digital division under the Kramer name was we felt like a perfect sort of move. It made sense. The rebrand demonstrates our sort of commitment to innovation, technology, and really future proofing that our name and position within the marketplace. It also creates a clear identity of where we're heading, which is into the digital space, and everything that comes with that, from the screens themselves, the hardware, through to the integration with, as I mentioned, the CRM providers, and managing and creating content with the agent to ensure that their window space becomes a high impactful marketing opportunity.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about that. So is that sort of the complete solution that the Kramer Digital can offer?
Yeah. So what we're essentially offering is a complete turnkey solution from the consultation period. So whether an estate agent has an existing window space, or they're moving office, or they're having a renovation, we can now offer through Kramer Signs, the office fascia signage, all of the signage internally that comes with that. But now, obviously, within the window space, we can offer we can come to site, we can provide a site survey, then come up with design concepts of what we think will suit your window space, installation nationwide, and then all of the ongoing support that comes with that. So whilst LED light pockets was the traditional sort of solution, and something which we can still offer, it's not something which we're shying away from. What we want to really push to market is high brightness screens. Now, with Vitrine Media, they are the hardware provider, and what we're offering is quite a few different solutions. So you can have the light and play range, which is ceiling suspended screens, very much like the LED light pockets, but instead of being obviously static light pockets with paper inserts, it's now a screen itself, and that comes in lots of different formats. It could be portrait, landscape, lots of different sizes, and they can hang off one another. So it's going to look very similar to what people are accustomed to in a estate agency window, but it's going to be LCD. So it's going to be moving, it's going to be dynamic, it's going to be engaging, which is the really exciting part. And that's the light and play range is completely exclusive to Kramer Digital through the hardware provider, which is Vitrine Media. But then, yes, as I said earlier, the software solution that goes with that is really exciting. So we can integrate with estate agents, CRM providers. So all of the leading CRM providers, from Repeat, Street, Loop, Alto, and all the rest. There's no limitations whatsoever. We can integrate with them to create a property feed, which will then present on the screen. It could be branded, obviously, in the estate agent's branding, and from there, there's different templates which can be chosen from, or we can work to create a completely bespoke look for the agent. So that's it in its simplest form. You can change it so that you could have maybe 30 seconds of property feed. It then goes through into some video content that the agent has created, then through to some I'm not sure. You could have some pushed messages from your social media account. So you can have the Instagram, the LinkedIn, obviously all integrated as well, where it can push through latest posts. And the really good bit is that you can integrate with the screens externally. So through QR technology external to the office, you can scan the QR code, take control of that screen, And with that, you can swipe through, take a look at all of the properties that are created within the property carousel, which is present on the screen. And yes, as I say, you can see the property details either on your phone or in the window space, liking the properties as you go. It's lead generating as well. So at the end of that, you can complete a form which will then go into the estate agency office, which will then prompt them that Tom Cummuskey has been viewing the window. He's interested in these properties, and then that will give them an AI report based on the properties that they've liked and the information that the customer's given on what sort of properties it feels would be relevant to then follow up that engagement with. And from there, also you can there is possibility of further AI support through camera technology. So with the screens themselves, it can give you a demographic report of who's engaging with your window space. So with this, it could tell you a report of typically males between the ages of, say, 30 to 40 have been looking at your windows for this long. Females have been looking at your between the ages of 20 to 30, been looking at these properties, and could really give you an overview of what's working well in your window space and how you could tailor it to get the most impact. What it could also do is tailor the content that's pushed to the person that's viewing in the window. So if it recognises you're between the age of 20 to 30, it might push out content that you've pre-populated of Help to Buy schemes. If you're of a person which it identifies that maybe is maybe over 70 years old, it might push messages releasing equity. So it's really, really clever in terms of what it can do. And what we do is from the point of order. So if we were to come to site and obviously then go on and install the solution for the estate agent, we would then provide full training, which would be an onboarding process with our tech team here, which is based in Newbury, and then you would have that full support throughout the whole, well, from forevermore, for as long as you're paying the monthly subscription cost of the software itself.
Okay. And you mentioned the hardware providers, Vitrine Media. Can you expand on who they are and the partnership you have with them?
So Vitrine Media are widely sort of recognised as the market leaders in the digital display sort of hardware field for estate agencies. We actually went last year to it's like sort of their version of the EA Masters over in Paris, which was really sort of exciting to go to and sort of see their position within the marketplace. And they deal with roughly about 90% of estate agents within France, and it's something which has completely revolutionised the window space over there. You rarely see sort of LED light pockets in an estate agency window space. It is now all sort of high brightness digital screens. So it was really sort of inspiring to see that. It was great to see the model and how they've managed to roll it out, how they've managed to tap into the property sector space over there, and sort of push this amazing product out, and to get the most out of it from, like I said, both the hardware selling points, but then also with the joint with the software, how they can offer a well-rounded solution for estate agents over in France. They're known for the premium quality products, innovation, and sort of reliability. And our partnership with them, what we want to do is obviously offer our customers industry-leading hardware, which is sort of backed up by a trusted international brand, and that's exactly who Vitrine are. So they will only partner with one supplier in each country. So throughout Europe, they got various different signage companies which they partner with, and in the UK we have complete exclusivity of the Vitrine hardware range. So yeah, it's obviously very important for us to work with partners that share the same standards and same quality of service and innovation, and by combining the Vitrine Media's hardware with our sort of expertise at Kramer Digital and our sort of industry knowledge and support structure, we can really deliver the best in class for all of the solutions that come with that. And what's really good as well is and which is important when you're putting a product like this to market, is to make it affordable. And what we've done is we've offered a leasing range to estate agents. So you can purchase the hardware outright. But we are now offering a leasing model which could be over a 36-month term, pay monthly, and that will include everything from the hardware, the installation, the full software support, and the package that goes with it, and obviously warranty throughout the 36-month term. At the end of that, you can then upgrade to the latest technology because, as I mentioned earlier, they're very innovative for Tring, and there's always new products coming onto the market. And by the end of a 36-month term, there'll definitely be scope to be able to then improve to the latest hardware at that time. So yeah, and obviously there's tax benefits that come with that as well by leasing the product rather than paying the big upfront costs. So yeah, so I think we're there now, obviously in the position where we could push it to market, where it's got the complete hardware solution, which is really exciting. The software solution, which is, as I said earlier, is dynamic. It can it's tapped into AI, so it's sort of future proofed, and right through to the leasing, so then it's affordable. So we're very confident that we're offering the best possible service for high brightness screens for estate agents.
And Tom, my final question is, what do you feel sets your solution apart from, say, the other suppliers in the field?
Yeah, so I feel that's sort of what I've tapped on already, really, in the sense that we're not just selling screens, we are delivering a complete sort of business solution. Our experience within the sector gives us a genuine sort of understanding of what agents need and what's important. And as I said, the touch points are on affordability, quality in product, and when you are delving into the world of software, it is how easy is it to use, how reliable is it? And as I mentioned, we're offering complete support throughout the if you were to sign up for a 36-month lease, there would be complete 24-hour support on the product. We could help manage the content. We can help create content for the customer as well, really making it quite effortless, because I think that's what can be quite daunting for estate agents, is thinking, right, I've got this lovely window space. I've got a really good opportunity to have these screens installed. How am I going to manage content? How am I going to create content? Is it going to be a headache? Am I going to have to constantly be uploading it every morning? Am I going to, is there going to be a problem in terms of integration with my CRM provider? And if I get a new property on, how am I going to then put it on the screen? The solution that we offer takes care of all of that. So with the CRM integration, once we are linked up with your provider, your CRM provider, it's all lifetime. So if you had two screens in your window, say you wanted one specifically for properties that are for sale and one which is for lettings, it will update real time in terms of if you were to upload a new property onto your CRM, it would then show up in the window that second, and it would differentiate between sales or lettings or whatever parameters you put in. It will then update lifetime, which is great. And I think what sort of sets us apart as well is the fact that we can diversify in supplying the traditional signage side. So as I mentioned, for sale and to let boards through to office facer signage, and now with the digital screens. For someone who's moving office or opening a new office or refurbing their office, it takes a big headache away from sourcing additional suppliers and dealing with multiple different brands. So having one point of contact, I think, solves a lot of problems. And in terms of an affordability point of view for our flexible leasing options, I think that makes it a bit of a no-brainer, to be fair. And I think the reliability and service are both huge sort of factors as to why I think we set ourselves apart. Customers have direct access to a dedicated team rather than dealing with multiple sort of third-party providers. So with our Kramer Digital range of hardware, so the high brightness screens themselves, Kramer Connect is our our software solution. So you're dealing with Kramer Signs essentially for all aspects of the screens, and we're also focused sort of with long-term partnerships rather than a transactional sale. So as I said, by offering this full turnkey solution for estate agents, we're in it for the long haul to create partnerships. We're not here for just a sale, selling someone a screen and then moving on to the next one. We want to be able to help you to afford it for our flexible leasing options, give you support throughout the whole of that term, and then at the end of it look to see how we could then introduce any sort of advances there's been in technology at that time.
Tom, thank you so much for coming on the show. Very much appreciate it.
Yeah,
and I appreciate you explaining the rebrand, going through the acquisition, and explaining a bit about the products and the services as well. I do appreciate it.
Brilliant. No problem at all. No, thank you very, very much.